Good morning, Jubilee. It is lovely to see your faces across my screen this morning as we gather via Zoom once again to celebrate together. Today, we are celebrating becoming planetary family members. Let me take just a moment to take a couple of tech notes. One thing I know that you are all wondering as the CDC guidance continues to change from day to day and week to week is, when are we gathering together in person? So continue to watch your e-news and our Facebook page and our website as we will be updating that. But in general, know that we are planning to start meeting together again for the next quarter, the Via Transformativa, which begins with the summer solstice on Sunday, June 20th. More details and maybe a changing plan about that will be coming your way. If you want to save the chat at the end of our time together today, you can go down into the chat, and by your name where you would add chat, you can see 3 dots. And because of that, you can hover and you can find one that says Save Chat. If you wait to the end of the meeting, you get the entire chat. So you can save the entire chat that day. If you're able and willing to turn on your video, it's lovely to see your faces. If you're out walking with your iPhone and it's bouncing up and down and you don't want to save your video, no guilt. We're glad you're with us however you join us today. So for me, one of the gifts of the pandemic has been a shift in my relationship to the plant kingdom. Concepts like our connection with trees have been part of my language for decades. And I feel like I've communed with nature since I was a child. But in the past year, something shifted. My connection moved from being an idea or even a feeling to something more tangible. And I don't know how or why or when this happened exactly, but at some point I began to experience my relationship, especially to trees, or as Yona would say, the one-leggeds. And I've known for years that some people can hear plants, that there are people who learn about plant medicine by listening to the plants tell them how they can help. I remember the first time I ever read about the Fenthorn community in Scotland, where folks grow these amazing vegetables in a climate and a soil that nobody believed was suitable. But the people of Fenthorn talked with the plants, and the relationship between the people and the plants there created a new reality. My honey started pandemic gardening and had mixed success with different plants, but one that absolutely did great was his oregano. Now, some of you may have seen the movie, The Two Popes. We both loved this movie, and afterwards we would always refer to oregano from a line in the movie as the Pope is a favorite spice. And I told him that's why his oregano did so well. He told it over and over that it was his favorite spice. Well, today we celebrate becoming a planetary family member, and I can't help thinking of the abundant oregano I've been enjoying this year, and its lesson to me in how we absolutely can help heal the earth. Not just by driving less or eating less meat or using less energy and fewer paper products, but by speaking to the earth with love, and more importantly, listening to her when she cries. One of my own heroes, Wangari Maathai, who began the Green Belt movement in Kenya, said, "We are called to assist the earth to heal. And this will happen if we see the need to revive our sense of belonging to a larger family of life with which we have shared our evolutionary process." I think of the story in Genesis where we're told that God gave Adam the task of naming the plants and animals as we might name our own children. In other words, God intended us to have a personal relationship with the earth and all her creatures. From the beginning, we were never separate. We've always been in the same family. So today, let's awake ourselves through singing as we celebrate becoming a planetary family member. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Laura, and thank you, Daniel. Laura, all those memories that come flooding back to me whenever you started talking this morning, and how my mother used to take the seeds that we were saving for the spring, and during the wintertime, she would take them out of the pantry where they were drying, and she would open them, and she would sing to the seeds, and she would tell them, this is how you're going to feed the earth, this is how you're going to profit our family. And this is the beauty you're going to bring into this world. And she would talk to the seeds, and then she'd close it back up and put them back up on the shelf, and created the energy long before spring ever came, long before planting season ever happened. It was a year-round relationship with all life. So thank you for that reminder, Laura. It's very heart-touching, and it's wonderful to be here with you from the Celebration Center. We're here, hopefully we'll all be again, and really in anticipation of that planetary relationship that we have, and to continue to grow our seed as this community. So with that, if you will, please, there's sometimes I just don't know what to say. So if you will, just turn inward, take a nice deep breath, and offer this for the ancestors.
Thank you for that powerful, beautiful space to lean into. So I invite you to check the chat. There should be a link there shortly, so you can bring a contribution from your gifts and from your heart and from your gratitude to those who are hungry and needing some support from the community. And here's an opportunity for you to share your heart with them in the chat as we sing the whole idea, which is that we are family. And this is a little different version, but please do sing along as you feel inspired.
Oh, yeah. I think, Val, that was beautiful. Thank you so much. Daniel. Okay, we're going from that. And
my pleasure. I'm sorry, I missed a cue there, didn't I?
It's okay, go for it.
So I'm delighted to get to introduce this next little bit. Pope McElvy has been coming to Jubilee for many, many years, and we've hung out some at Jubilee, and we've hung out some at the Swananoa Gathering, and played a bunch of music and had a lot of laughs for many years. And I'm so excited to be welcoming you, Pope, to come and share some of your gifts with us today.
Thanks, Daniel. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to share one of my songs with the Jubilee community. And this is a song called So Beautiful. And it was inspired by my love for these just magnificent mountains. When Cassie and I moved to Asheville 14 years ago, I really had no idea that these mountains would be such a powerful catalyst for our creativity and growth, as it has been for so many other people that we know. And I'm sure a lot of people on this call today. I don't know if it's even possible to fully capture the awesomeness and the elegance of these mountains, but I've tried to express my feelings about them in this song. So the name of our band is One Heart. A few days ago, we recorded this video for the Jubilee service today. And I'd like to introduce the guys in the band. Of course, you'll recognize Vinit on flute and bass, Butch is on keys, and Stevie is playing the cajon drum. So thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy it.
Hear the song of these mountains. They sing the praises of every living thing. Back in the coves, in the hollers, and from above, where love falls like rain, like rain. Love falls like rain. There is nothing more beautiful than this. My heart sings with joy, and every moment I spend in this bliss, I just want more. So beautiful, you're so beautiful. Oh, I can feel the heartbeat of these mountains, all the crystals as they vibrate with their light. With every pulse, our world becomes more loving. These ancient ones are here to open our sight. Here to open our sight. From your peaks to your valleys, raging rivers fed by tiny springs, your old growth forest is protection, standing tall like mighty kings. Well, you know where you can find me, down by the creek under that old oak tree. And I am one with this creation. It's where my spirit will forever fly free, fly free. Oh, my spirit will fly free. soul. I feel you in my soul. So beautiful. You are so beautiful. So beautiful. You are so beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Jubilance, you are so beautiful. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in that band. I wish you could see all the comments. I hope you all are. We should just play it again. just the rest of the service. Let's just do that. And my gosh, sometimes it's so hard to follow something so beautiful. Hold that song in your heart. Hold that song in your heart. Hold it to your heart. As we enter this prayer time, breathe deeply. Feel that beauty in your heart today. You are so beautiful. So, Jubilance, whether you know it or not, you have relatives in Gaza, relatives in Afghanistan. You have relatives in Rwanda who share the forests with the silverback gorilla and the jungle to which you'd probably feel so foreign right now. You know, you're related to that silverback gorilla. You're related to that jungle. You know, there are no foreigners, no aliens in a planetary family. No borders, none of the artificial ideas that we humans have only very lately come up with. Skin, fur, feathers, root, and amoeba. These are just the smallest iota and the briefest beats of Earth's circle dance. I mean, it all does sound so nice, yet being in a family, as we know, is hard. Especially when you're so young, still learning the language, just learning how to walk, how to speak, barely learning how to trust. We still don't know how things work. We're mere toddlers still, with such big and sometimes dangerous things in our hands. The earth is teaching us, sometimes in very hard ways, how to be a planetary family. It's not humans teaching humans. It's the earth teaching humans. It's the silverback gorillas, the dolphins, the eagles, the foxes, the little toads, and yes, the amoebas. They're our teachers. The stars are our teachers. And the toddlers, they're our teachers too. I invite you to breathe deeply. Pray with friends in the chat. drifting here with your ship's companions. Never harbor nor port have you known. The wide universe, the ocean you travel. In this beautiful blue boat home. Breathe deeply. Daniel. Sure.
Thank you, Jay. So let's reach out in the chat and say hi to folks. Really appreciate that that moment of silence and reflection and listening to all of the various beings that are teaching us. Really appreciate that, Jay. So let's reach out to each other and share a little bit about what maybe we're feeling right now, a little bit about your gratitude for seeing each other. Say hey in the chat as we sing together. In the mists of the morning we open to all of the gifts of the day. We open our hearts to take it all in and give it all back in our way. Let us sing of the beauty around us. Let us sing of the beauty within. Oh, hear the earth tell that all shall be well. In so many different ways. Anam Cara, Anam Cara, soul friend. We're part of it all in our sorrow. We're part of it all in our bliss. We're part of the sun. We're part of the rain. We're all part of God's holy kiss. Let us sing of the beauty around us. Let us sing of the beauty within. Oh, hear the earth tell that all shall be well. Anam Cara, Anam Cara, soul friend. Oh yeah, Gabriel, oh yeah.
Good morning, Jubilee. Today is the final gift from the singers for the season, and we have for you a choral arrangement of Shed a Little Light. So I have for you information in the chat about the piece, and I want to give a special thanks to Paula Hankey for being our pianist for this gift. And JR, take us away.
Let us turn our thoughts today to Martin Luther King and recognize that there are ties between us, all men and women living on the earth, ties of hope and love, sister and brotherhood, and we are bound together in our desire to see the world become a place in which our children can grow free and strong. We clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest. There is a passage through the darkness and the mist. And though the body sleeps, the heart will never rest. Shed a little light, oh
Shed a little
Lord,
light, oh Lord.
so that we can see.
Oh, now.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Just a little light, oh Lord.
Wanna send it on up,
Stand it on up, oh
send it on up, oh Lord.
yeah, now.
Wanna walk it on down,
Shed a little
shed a little
light.
light, oh Lord. Can't get no light from a dollar bill. Don't give me no light from the TV screen.
No, 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 no.
When I open my eyes, I want to drink my fill from the well on the hill. There is a feeling like the clenching of a fist. There is a hunger in the center of the chest.
There's a passage through the darkness and though the body sleeps,
The heart will never rest. Shed a little light, shed a little light, oh Lord, so that we can see.
we can see. Just a little light.
Just a little light now. Standing on up, standing on up, standing on up. Oh, walk it on down. Won't you shed a little light? Shed a little light, oh Lord. Shed a little light, oh Lord, so that we can see. Just a little light, just a little light now. Standing on up, standing on up, standing on up. Oh Lord, walk it on down. Won't you shed a little light? Shed a little light, oh Lord. Shed a little light, oh Lord.
Won't you shed a little light?
Shed a little light, oh Lord. Won't you shed a little light? Oh Lord.
Woo! Oh my gosh, we have so many talented people in this community. It's just such a blessing. Music is such a blessing. Thank you, Terry, for figuring out how to be a choir director in a pandemic. And thank you, choir, for hanging in there and doing that. And thank you to all the other musicians this morning. Oh, all right. So with our music, we also have some words. And let me share with you these words. These are all words picked by this morning's speaker. From Maya Angelou, we hear, I note the obvious differences between each sort and type, but we are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. We are more alike, my friends, than we are unalike. And from Machano Diweo, we all belong to the world, and the world belongs to us all. And from Gudrun Bergman, humanity is like a pearl necklace. Each human is a pearl with distinct characteristics, but underneath there's a string that ties us all together, invisible to the naked eye. And finally, from Holly Sprink, Global citizenship is the recognition that the world is made up of people with similar needs, desires, responsibilities, and dreams. It is the willingness to connect to people all over the world. It is noticing that the world is your family. Friends, this is ancient wisdom and holy word. Thanks be to all that is wise and holy. All creation is wisdom and holy word. All creation sings of wisdom and God. Hallelujah. Oh, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome as our speaker this morning, Vinit Allen. Many of you know Vinit as the leader of our social justice team and a member of our Earth team. Vinit is also co-leader of the Pachamama Alliance in Asheville, which focuses on how we can help create a thriving human society and a flourishing planet. He's co-founder of Planet Earth Arts, which supports the arts in transforming the human planetary impact from one of destruction to one benefiting the entire community of life. And as we saw earlier, he is a musician, and as we are about to see, a spiritual practitioner. With his partner, Rejo, they moved here from California 2 years ago, where they run Samasati Sanctuary. It's a retreat and event center in Weaverville where they also live. So Vinit, welcome. We're so glad to have you speaking with us today.
Oh, thank you, Laura. Thank you, Jubilee. Thank you, Jubilee community. Thank you for the honor of your presence with me here this morning. You know, I've been struck by how the pandemic has created an experience of concern that's actually shared by all people on the planet, right? For the first time ever in human history, we can see others around the world on our TVs, our computers, our phones, who are doing their best to cope with the challenge that is affecting us in different ways, but it's affecting us all. That's an awesome development. I felt a sense of kinship with Ming Chao, a woman in China being interviewed on the news, concerned about her family and her business. And I recognized that our concerns are indeed shared by everyone around the world. I've never felt that before. That's exhilarating. So what is it that keeps us apart in our minds, that makes others really others? What do you think? It's a big question. I'd love to have your responses in the chat if you do have ideas. I'd love some interactivity here. That'd be great. Thank you. Charles Eisenstein, one of the luminaries of our time, talks about his investigation into what he calls the source of wrongness. How is it that a species such as ours, humans, that appear to be so intelligent and hardworking and have been able to create fantastic technology, incredible cities, could also create a culture that is so destructive, so fraught with homeless people, incarcerated people, racism, broken families, addiction, violence, not to mention climate change, species extinction. The list is long. One evening, as Charles walked along the block near his home in Asheville at the time, he noticed a blue electronic glow of a TV or computer coming from almost every home and nobody on the street, and the resulting fear and competition in life. We had gotten to a place that was the opposite of tribal community, the roots of humanity, and it's still practiced in many indigenous tribes. I don't know about you, but my neighbors didn't introduce themselves to us, my partner Rajio and I, when we moved here a couple of years ago. We went around to meet them all, and thankfully they're all great people. But I see that it's common that people don't go out and meet their neighbors and often don't know them at all. And what is the source of that? People being isolated from one another. Let's see, what did you say here? The concept of othering, this is from Paul, Concept of othering has become something of significant study, and particularly regarding how destructive it has become to society, right? Thank you, Paul. Absolutely. Correct. Judgment. I hear their cries. Fear of misunderstanding. Mary Frances, thank you. Fear, the most destructive dynamic. Perfect love casts out fear. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Chris. You get it. You get it. Well, I'll take a swing at this myself. This country, the US, was founded on the famous principles of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. You've probably heard about this. Those are worthy ideals, but shouldn't they also include what benefits the common good? A country and economy based on capitalism, which is by definition the maximization of money, profits, may benefit individuals making those profits, usually a white man, right? But without an emphasis on the common good, you would naturally produce a society that has all of the huge social and environmental issues that we do here in the US. Has this always been the case for us humans? What do you think? Put it in the chat. Fear of exile. Yes. Thank you, Daniel. Well, let's go back to our tribal roots and consider the creation stories, the stories that gave the tribal members a sense of who they felt they were, their personal sense of identity. These stories created an us, my tribe, and a them, everybody else. Once the climate stabilized 10,000 years ago in the sweet spot, the Holocene, agriculture developed, and the larger tribes grew to become city-states and more recently nations, with borders that were and are often arbitrarily determined. Establishing these new nations often involved genocide of the original inhabitants, as was certainly true with the founding of the US. This became the new identity for humans. People here, for example, will say, I am an American, implying that the essence of who I am and what I am about is determined by what it means to be an American, with all of the associated cultural traits, good, bad, and ugly, right? It also comes with the implied us, other Americans, and then everyone else, who we call foreigners or even aliens. And of course, there are other identities overlaid on that. I'm a man or a woman, a Christian or a Buddhist, gay or straight, young or old, etc. How do you identify? Are any of these so-called self-identities really who we are, who you are? I might be wrong with this. I mean, this is just my good idea. I welcome you to debate on this. I don't want to try to convince you. I just see what I see. I see we're a family. Now that we can see and experience each other around the world on our TV sets, our computers, there is a historic opportunity to make an evolutionary leap that will change everything. Recognizing that, in fact, who we are is an us. That is the entire human family, a planetary family, with shared concerns of safety, happiness, care for our families, and care for this beautiful planet we all share. This is a huge, expansive jump in who we know ourselves to be and what we belong to. Now we belong to the entire planet and the entire human race with all of its gorgeous diversity. And in fact, our family includes all of life here on the planet, taking our rightful place here on Earth, not as having dominion over nature, but rather being one of many species within Earth's exquisite ecosystem. And while some may say that it's human nature to be competitive, similar to our near genetic relatives, the chimpanzees, we now know that bonobos are equally our near genetic relatives, and they tend to be cooperative and famously solve many disputes by making love, not war. Not a bad solution. I like that. In fact, we are being forced to make this evolutionary jump for our very survival as a species. Climate change, which more accurately is climate destabilization, we know that, we can see that, it is underway. As a fully systemic process that, like the pandemic, is simultaneously affecting all people in all countries, and will clearly require a coordinated response from all of us at every level. It is in this sense that Paul Hawken, founder of the landmark project Drawdown to Restore the Climate, asks us, is climate change being done to us or for us? Yes, we are expressions of the Great Mother. Thank you, Margie. Runs way back, way deep. Yes, thank you, Daniel. We all have the same divine love within us that connects us, and we can see that in everyone we look at deeply. Thank you, Jane. Beautiful. So let's consider the possibilities if we humans do in fact make the leap to being a planetary family. We would no longer need the vast militaries and weapons being paid for and maintained by most countries. That alone would free up some $2 trillion a year. $2 trillion every year. And just a quarter of that, 500 billion, would be more than enough to pay for solutions to the environmental challenges we face, and enough to invest in education and healthcare around the world, which are the source of solutions for many social issues. Now, you may well ask, oh, hey, a lot of people are not so nice. Why would we want to be in a family with everyone? I asked that question too. Well, the Course in Miracles teaches us that all human interaction is either expressing love or is a cry for love, a need for love. What are families for if not to help take care of one another? And you also might ask, well, what about all the folks who voted for Trump, who likely wouldn't want to be part of a human family? This sounds like very wishful thinking. It's not the world we live in. I asked that question too. Well, of course, making the leap to a planetary family won't happen overnight, nor will the dismantling of the world's militaries. But the recognition of our new identity initiates movement in the right direction of unity, inclusion, and brotherhood. All great societal revolutions, democracy, ending slavery, universal human rights, started with the recognition of what was right. What was the caring thing to do by a small number of people? Now, what's in all this for you? Being part of a planetary family is a nice idea, but how might this affect your life in the real world? You might be wondering. How might your interaction with the cashier be at Whole Foods? How might it be different if she were your cousin? You might say something other than just, I've got my own bag, thanks. So if you agree that who we actually are is part of a planetary family, then I'd like to lead a short initiation ceremony to begin to have this recognition be embodied and integrated within you, within us. Feel free to participate to whatever extent you're called to do so, right where you are, and it's fine to be in your bathrobe. In fact, it might even be better that way. If you're comfortable doing so, close your eyes and drop inside. Take a few long, deep breaths. Feel the oxygen going deep into your lungs. Oxygen provided by the trees. As you breathe out, feel that carbon dioxide leaving your lungs to be used by the trees, and the beautiful cycle provided by nature that's been happening for hundreds of millions of years. We feel our interdependence with the trees, with the animals, with the plants. We know our joys and sorrows are shared by all the people on this call, by all the people in our town, by all the people around the world. We all want a life for ourselves and others that is healthy, happy, safe. Allow the feeling or the image of a global tribe, the planetary family that we are, to be there in your heart and in your mind. Breathe directly into your heart to strengthen that feeling, that image. Can you imagine a world where we treat each other as family? Like the women in Africa who sing to each other across the river while they work, whether they know each other or not. Can you imagine we're all just part of this big, crazy, and yes, often dysfunctional family, including those we disagree with? Do so now. It is a leap into being an evolutionary human, a universal human, a spiritual human, a loving human, a connected human. A true shift in being requires courage. I encourage you to take heart and leap into this new awareness, this new feeling, this new being, this new presence. Like the Wizard of Oz, I can't give you anything you don't already have, but I recognize what's already true for you. I see it, I celebrate it, and I reflect it back to you. There's no place like home. Home is where the heart is, and where our true family is. And you are already home. Oh. Go ahead and open your eyes if you had them shut. If you're on a computer, set it to gallery view so you can see everyone. Look around at your sisters and your brothers. Aren't we beautiful? In the name of Gaia, the earth, our real mother, I now close the ceremonial circle. We are now family. Hey, I want to hear back from you. How did this land for you? Let me know if things start to shift, if people who you don't know go from strangers to family. I'll put my email in the chat. Thank you. Bless you. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Double oh, yeah. Yeah, we are family, that's for sure. Thank you, Vinit. That was a really beautiful experience. And all the music's been wonderful today. And it's just a great celebration. So next Sunday is Pentecost, when we celebrate the Holy Spirit appearing as tongues of fire to the followers of Jesus. Red is the color of fire, and we want to get everyone all fired up. So please, next Sunday, wear something red to the celebration, and we'll all just glow in that redness. As Laura mentioned at the beginning of today's celebration, next Sunday also marks our first step in returning to in-person Sunday celebrations, which we're planning to do on June 20th. During the next few weeks, we are inviting teams to join us in the Celebration Center as we practice live streaming from the space with the band, speakers, and a very limited number of community members. Then we'll have advanced online sign up for the June 20th Sunday celebration, which will be announced in our newsletter. If you're a clean freak, we've got a job for you. We still need volunteers to help clean and organize the Celebration Center for reopening our doors. If you'd like to come help spiff up our space, we'll be organizing work days over the next few weeks. So if you're interested, please contact Laura Collins or Patrick Fitzsimmons, and their email addresses are in chat and on the website and in the newsletter. And now Laura Billings is going to tell us a little bit about Just Conversations.
Yes. Here's to expressing gratitude for Michele and her communication in and around all things Jubilee. And because of that, you have probably heard and or read about Just Conversations. The first of which is coming this Thursday, and these are a series of dialogues with teachers, with world leaders about different topics. And the one on Thursday is about explicit racism and communicating with people of different color. And it features the Reverend Naomi Tutu and Miss Rose Bader. You're likely recognizing the name Tutu. I want to tell you a little bit about Miss Rose Bader, our planetary sister, a creation spirituality savant, one who shares a long, deep connection with the same lineage as Matthew Fox. Rose had developed and was running an organization called Common Ground to honor and uphold Mother Earth. And she was invited to Cape Town in 1997 to speak at a conference particularly focused on women and economic development. And in the audience, and by the way, the name of her talk was From Eggplants to Earthworms. And I invite you to try to figure out the significance of that relationship. Naomi Tutu was in the audience. And after that, they went to coffee and had a developing professional relationship and friendship. And as you may know from your history, this was right when South Africa was coming out of apartheid. And Rose saw in Naomi something that Naomi had never seen in herself, and helped grow a seed, a strong spirit of voice to speak across the world. Over time, they had many horrifying and hilarious experiences as a white woman in South Africa, learning about what it meant to be Black, and a Black woman learning how to deal with a fairly naive white woman. It's a nice way to put it. So in addition to being a creation spirituality savant, Rose is a finder. And the last thing is Rose attends Jubilee on a regular basis. So look out for her, and please join us, if you will, on Thursday evening, 6:30 at Just Conversations. The link is in the chat.
Mortals join the happy chorus, which the morning stars began. Love divine is reigning o'er us, joining all in heaven's plan. Ever singing, march we onward, joyful in the midst of strife. Joyful music leads us sunward in the holy song.
So we're all planetary family, I trust. And I know you'll go forth and give from your hearts and take care of our planetary family members. And we'll go with the blessings of Gaia and Spirit. Thank you.
And stick around after our last song for the breakout rooms.
All shall be well. And unmute yourself if you want so you can hear each other. All
All manner of things shall be
well.
All shall be well. Oh, God, that just sounds so good. All shall be well. Sounds better when we slow down, doesn't it?
The high maintenance one. This one here.
Shall be well.
Gabriel.
Things shall be well.